Minutes after 6 bells, a welcome Wednesday to you all. Welcome to Living the Run. If it's your first time, make it a second time next week because we should be here. We're here every week, 6 o'clock, 6 to 7 o'clock. We talk everything health and fitness. And I tell you, Olympian Paul Terek is back. Coming in a little late almost today. Coming in under the time, just barely making it in. Paul,
It's efficiency. You know, a lot of people get places early. I'm just, I'm there on time.
Well, here's what is making me worry. You know, I grew up in the Bay Area listening to radio. One of my favorite shows, the Ralph Barbieri show up there, KNBR 680 in the Bay Area. They called him the Razor. He ended up getting ousted, though, Paul Terek. He was with Tom Tolbert up there, former Golden State Warriors guy. They had a nice team. But word on the street was the Razor kept showing up late. You've kind of got the Razor voice of us two. You're coming in just barely under the gun. I don't know. I haven't gotten any word from Mike Chelson here lately, but he may be on the chopping block.
They're looking for replacements. Is this the rumor that's on the street?
Hey, looking for replacements. And I tell you, we've had Adam Melhuse on multiple times. We're going to get Adam here on again. Adam,
I like him. If I had to make a vote, I like Adam, dude.
Adam coming off of some back surgery. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on there. But big show tonight. Good show tonight. We got, I got to think this has got to be close to, if not, because I didn't hear every show, Ryan Fran when he started this show, Living the Run, but got to be probably the most elite, most fit couple that's ever graced its presence on Living the Run radio. Is this true?
I think so. We had Ashton one point, but he wasn't married at the time, so it was a little different, And if we get Ashton and Bree, I think that's going to be an untouchable combination. But up till this point, I agree with you. Probably the most elite couple we've had on.
Yeah, UT Austin graduate Joe Thorne, as well as his wife Kara June. These guys are as fast as it gets. They're very elite. I remember watching Kara up there 2008, first time I went up there. I was supposed to watch you compete in the Olympic trials.
You did see me. I wasn't competing. You were watching me. I just wasn't competing.
Yeah, due to a little mischief that you got in on the track a month before and messed up that knee just a little bit and forfeited your spot there in 2008. I'm still kind of bummed about that, Paul.
I'll tell you,
I missed you in 2004. I was expecting a strong performance in 2008. I said, ugh.
I was expecting the same performance, but I'll tell you who didn't miss me at that meet was a young kid. I believe he was from Kansas State. I can't remember if he was Kansas State, but anyways, he was the bubble guy. We refer to the guy that doesn't get in as the bubble guy, because it's like their dreams of going to the trials are just burst. And so anyways, he was the bubble guy, and I made the phone call. It was right up till the wire, and I'd let his coach know ahead of time that I had some issues, and we'll see what's going to go on, and I'll let him know if I'm going to go or not. And about a week and a half before the meet, the deadline was coming to declare if you're going to compete or not, and this kid was staying ready. He trained for probably 3 to 4 weeks, not even knowing if he was going to go. And I got, it was a hard phone call to make where I actually had to concede and I wasn't going to compete, but it was a good phone call to call a young kid up and say, hey, listen, man, you're the next guy. So good luck, do a good job up there.
I'm stoked to have these guys in studio. Great husband-wife combo. And, they're going to get down to reality for us a little bit, Paul, is that when you stop competing at that level, at least, trying to make the Olympic teams, trying to get to that next level, if you will, and now you start a family. They just had a young child a few months ago. You know this. I know this. Things can change, but they don't have to change as dramatically as you think. And they're going to talk a little bit about how they're staying fit and then transitioning. I know Joe's going on to the next level, trying to hit up some Ironmans. He's going to compete very, very well, learning some new things. I know he talked to me briefly about learning the bike, learning the pool. Nobody has to teach him too much on the run. This guy is very, very fast. I went and looked up a few of his times. Very, very fast, but should be a fun couple to have in here.
Yeah, I think it'll be good to hear a different perspective. I have my own perspective from getting out of training, and I think it would be great to hear a different perspective and how somebody else responded to it. I wouldn't call my response to retiring positive. I didn't continue to train and maintain this, the lifestyle of that. It was hard for me just because I didn't get to walk away on my terms. It was kind of like, I was like a horse, like a broken horse, and really the only difference between like us and the other horse is like the other one, they just kind of shoot right at the track, and us, they just kind of like fade off, like nothing, and then get forgotten about. So.
Hey, let's check it in now. I think Adam's on the line. We're going to try to bring Adam in here and talk a little bit about what's going on with him. And we've talked with Adam before about this. We talked with you about this before, Paul. When you're playing at an elite level, Adam Melhuse, a catcher for over 10 years. In the major leagues, now a scout for the Chicago Cubs, and thankfully a co-host sometimes here on Living the Run on ESPN 1280 The Ticket. But Adam, come in here. I know you've been dealing with a little bit of a struggle here. Life has changed a little bit for you. An injury that you hadn't had to deal with before. Looks like we got it fixed. How you doing, man?
Good, guys. How's it going, Paul, Rex?
Hey, good to talk to you. We'd rather have you in studio, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on my feet. I'm moving around. It wasn't as bad as I thought. So that's a good thing, obviously.
Hey, well, let me just say this. When we start to talk about back surgeries, most people start to fret a little bit, cringe, get a little tight, a little stiff, want to stay away. This was the back surgery of the past. Back surgeries were an absolute nightmare. I always thought that it was pretty interesting. The orthopedic journals, spine, etc., used to put in this category that was called FBS, failed back surgery. The percentage was ridiculously high 15, 20, 30 years ago. We've come a long way. Procedures are pretty good, man. You were even talking about not taking any pain medications after this thing.
Yeah, no, I had it 2 weeks ago Friday, so what was that, the 9th? Friday, lights went out at about 8:30, maybe a little closer to 9. Woke up 10:25, and Saturday at 12 noon, I was on my way back home and up and moving about. I didn't want any narcotic. I took a couple doses of the Toradol Friday, and then a couple doses before I left on Saturday. I think Sunday I followed up with a little bit of Advil throughout the day. Haven't taken anything since.
Hey, talk mentally real quick, Adam, on what your approach is going forward, how you feel confidence-wise, how you think. We had Jeff Troshon, sports psychologist, not long ago, maybe a month ago, and he just talked a lot about trying to get that psyche right when you're coming back from an injury. In this case, coming back from a back injury, coming back from a surgery. Talk about your mental state going into this and what you expect from yourself in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going into it, I saw myself with no options. I mean, I had the nerve stuff going down my leg. It was just something that I needed. I mean, if I wanted to participate in sports with my son and daughter and, be able to run around and pick them up and all that kind of stuff, I needed to have it. So it was a no-brainer. So going forward, it's like I feel fantastic now. All of that's been done. Dr. Kissel did an amazing job. Aside from a little swollenness, and a little bit of of scar, obviously. I mean, that's all that you could tell. But I feel great, and it's kind of like I got to keep myself from doing too much at this time. I'm only a couple weeks out. Next Wednesday, my post-op with Kissel, and have him answer some questions for me. But I feel great. I don't want to do too much, but it's like, what's it going to feel like? When am I going to know that I'm okay? Am I going to be all right? Is this going to happen again? How can I prevent this from happening again? So I'm sure there's going to be some sort of hesitation and question. And obviously I'm not just going to dive right in head first, with whatever I'm programmed I'm going to do. It's whether I start off with just some stretching and yoga and light weights or, whatever it might be, it's definitely going to be just kind of tiptoeing at first just to kind of test this thing out. So I don't know. I mean, the way I feel now, I would expect everything to go fine.
Now, Adam, do they have you on a prescribed rehab program yet, or has it pretty much been rest and recovery for now, and then they're going to slowly ease you into that?
I think that's what it's going to be. They left me the hospital and said, just remember BLT. And I'm like, you like the sandwich? And they're like, yeah, no bending, no lifting, no twisting. I said, okay.
Can I add avocado?
I wish I could. That would be great. But, I would be lying to you guys if I said I followed that to a T. I haven't lifted. I've done a little bit of bending to tie my shoe, that type of stuff. So the everyday stuff, I haven't lifted weights. I haven't done, twisting like in a golf swing or any of that stuff. But, I mean, just walking around the house, that kind of stuff, nobody would ever know that anything ever happened. I'm not, like, stiff as a board or anything. So I think this next Wednesday appointment will be key. And, he'll take a look and say, man, this is going great. Proceed on. Here's what I want you to do. Or, hey, you've gone too far or what. So I'm a little nervous about what he's going to say, but then again, I'm not, because I feel like $1 million, compared to where I was before the surgery.
Now, I know it's going to be hard for you probably. Some people aren't, some people are. But being an athlete at that level, everything turns into a contest. They tell you to do 10 of these. You're going to do 10. Maybe you do 15. Maybe I did 2 sets of 10 because I'm feeling really good. Have you had to deal with that in your career at all? And if so, are you one of those testers? Are those people that push it, trying to if I do all of my rehab that I'm supposed to do over 3 weeks, if I do that today, then I'll obviously be better.
Yeah, you know what? To a degree, I am. It's like, well, it's okay. You're just going to do these, 5-pound dumbbells. Like, well, feel good with 5. Why don't I just try the 10? So yes.
Be careful,
yes,
Adam.
no.
Be careful.
I know.
Hey, did you hear Paul Terek, by the way, say that he missed you in here? And he says, man, I really like that guy. I wish Adam was back.
Well, now that you've told him, now it's like I can't ever tell him again.
Man, pretend like I didn't hear that.
Yeah, we wish you well, man. We wish you back in here soon, but get recovered first. Come back on Living the Run anytime. Thanks for updating us and the listeners, man.
You got it. Have a great show, and call me when you need me.
All right, Adam. Hey, good stuff, Adam. And props again to Dr. Kissel. Kissel does a great job. I've seen a ton of patients that have seen him. He really is a great communicator, great surgeon, good stuff. When you need him, you use him, and the techniques are tremendous there. Hey, don't forget, Living the Run brought to you by Team Swayze. Check out Hal Swayze. We had Hal Swayze in last week. If you need a realtor, make sure you check in with Hal Swayze. When it comes to the top guys, and we didn't say this last week, not only is Hal the top in San Luis Obispo, second to none, he's one of the top sellers actually in the country. Hal gets it done. He's got a great formula. He's ahead of things, and the reality is why, Paul. We saw him at 6 o'clock last week, guys.
And he was active. He wasn't lethargic. He didn't seem like he was tired from the day.
Yep.
The guy, we come in here, he's doing business. He's not sitting down. He's standing up.
Yeah, active, fresh. He's on top of it. Nobody with more experience. So contact Team Swayze. You can look him up at teamswayze.com. or call them at 805-781-3750. Hey, I'm excited, Paul. Coming up next here on Living the Run, Joe Thorne, Cara June, talking elite athleticism, talking family life, talking fitness, and making it a priority, their health and fitness, how they live the run, next.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Hey guys, Paul Terek from Living the Run here. As a former Olympian, there is only one place myself and fellow athletes go when it comes to chiropractic care on the Central Coast. With 4 chiropractors in the clinic, Slow Wellness Center is the largest, most comprehensive group of docs in San Luis Obispo County. I began seeing Dr. Rex Stevens back in 2005 for spinal adjustments to help maximize my performance, minimize my injury, and allow me to compete at my best. When the difference between a win and a loss can be just a fraction of an inch, perfect alignment in all joints is essential. One of the great things about the team at Slow Wellness is no matter where I had an issue, whether it was my spine, my foot, knee, wrist, or shoulder, they were always able to help. This team, made up of Dr. Rex and Molly Stevens, Dr. Sachs, and Dr. Bandolo, is sure to help you reach your health and fitness goals too. If it's chiropractic care you need, go where I go, Slow Wellness Center. Check them out at slowwellness.com or call 543-8688.
Folks, when it comes to the health of my teeth, I will not compromise, and neither should you. It's time you go where my wife and I go see Dr. Ryan Ross. I get it. Not everyone loves a dentist, and heck, even a few of you out there are scared to death of these offices. Bad past experiences? Well, you ever had a bad haircut? How about a bad meal somewhere? You didn't stop getting your haircut, and you certainly didn't stop eating, so stop ignoring your teeth. Dr. Ross's gentle approach, calming demeanor, and office full of upbeat staff puts your dental fears to rest. Conveniently located in a great little house on Marsh Street downtown, Dr. Ross's office exudes the highest level of professionalism, mixed with an atmosphere much like your own home. Look, nobody's in a rush here. It's not a get them in, get them out atmosphere. Every time I'm in Dr. Ross's office, it's like I'm the only guy that matters. No distractions, just full focus on my oral health. If you're interested in the highest quality in dental care and want to walk out of the office every time with a smile, call Dr. Ryan Ross today, 541-5800.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
You want to get fit? And I mean really fit? Fit for fun? Fit for looking good? Fit for life? It can happen for you at Athlon Fitness and Performance in San Luis Obispo. Athlon has a 4-week fitness fast start designed to get anyone back on track and moving like a champion quickly and effectively. For a limited time, you can start Athlon's 4-week fitness fast start for only $197. That's 4 weeks of personal training, nutritional guidance, movement rehabilitation, motivation, fun, and encouragement, all for just $197. Take your body and your athleticism to a new level. Go to athlonslo.com. That's ATHLONSLO.com to learn more about the 4-week fitness fast start. It'll be the best decision you'll ever make.
We're back with Living the Run.
Welcome back to Living the Run. You know, it seems like every week, Paul Terek, when you're here, we somehow in the break talk about cussing. And, you know,
It's not me that no, I don't bring it up. It's like you feel the need to tell me not to, and it's like, hey, I haven't done it.
Well, I got to tell you, you know, I'm excited about our guests in studio, but let me just say this, you know, I can feel the anxiety of this town with school about to roll tomorrow. Thursday, school starts in the San Luis School District. I could feel it in my office today, people coming through. I feel it at my house, my one son going into first grade next week. And I'll tell you why I have anxiety. Exactly what we've been talking about the last month. I got anxiety about my son having to sit all the time at school and not being up moving around. This is stressing me out a little bit, Paul Terek.
Well, I mean, you got to think, though, when you went to school, you know, when you were younger, you sat most of the day. You had recess. The best thing I think about little kids, though, in recess is, like, when you're, like, 9, your friend knocks on your door, you open the door, they slap you in the face, yell, tag, you're it, and you can go from 0 to 100% and never think about it, breathing hard. You never you tried to do that now. I mean, how many adults do you know? Somebody just tried to sprint, just tried to walk outside and sprint down the sidewalk. You'd have people laying all over the place, you know. It'd look like the ICU or something, you know. Like
we need a bunch of good Samaritans to come by and pick them up off the street.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what age I crossed over that threshold of like, wow, my body actually has a lactic acid. So I have a threshold now where I run out of, you know, readily available sugars.
Hey, nice transition, Paul Terek. Who says you couldn't run this show by yourself?
Me and probably 1,800, 1,900 other people.
Yeah.
Maybe only 1,500.
All the 3 people listening. Let me tell you, talk about lactic acid threshold. Our guests in studio know a little bit about
they
that.
They never lost theirs. That's the difference. They never lost theirs.
UT Austin distance runner Joe Thorne in studio with his wife, Kara June. Hey, guys, lactic acid threshold, does that ring any bells?
Absolutely does.
He's like, I heard other people talk about it.
I got nervous you just talking about that.
Other people that I used to beat, I heard them talk about it.
Yeah, the muscles hurt already. Yeah, it's funny. You know, we were out on the track today. My office, I got to say, I work at a great office. I don't know if you guys got this going on over at Left Lane Sports, but 4 of us out there from my office today, 1:30 to 2:30, hit the Cal Poly track, and we push hard. Luckily, no one's out there filming us, looking at our technique, but we go hard. We try to get the blood to boil a little bit, and it's a good time. But you guys, you know, pushing the level a little bit. Talk a little bit about this transition from elite athlete. Okay, somebody's competing at a high level, Big 12 championships and national championships. Olympic trials. We're talking the biggest of the big here when it comes to top elite events. Talk about that now, transitioning into life with a child at home, working a full-time job going on here. Obviously some transitions, but certainly one thing I love about you guys, fitness still important. Got to keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about time management and just making sure that you do it on your lunch break or whenever you have the opportunity. So that's what I do every day at lunch, put my running shoes on, see if I can collect a coworker or my husband and head out the door and hit the pavement. We did run on Cal Poly's campus yesterday. We went to Poly Canyon and did a little bit of that. So that was really fun. But just making sure that I'm still making myself breathe hard and sweat and enjoy it while I'm still running, and just we'll see where it goes. Our daughter will be 7 months in a few days, and I know I still have the competitive juices running in me, and just have to figure out once we can get her to sleep through the night how I'm going to get up in the morning and make that into a workout as well. So it's a learning period right now.
If it makes you feel any better, my son was 2 by the time he slept through the night. So
Oh, wow.
only another year and 5 months.
Please no.
Tops.
Please no.
Please
Please sleep.
Yeah, hey, we got to say this. Kara June in studio ran in the last Olympic trials, 2012, Eugene, Oregon, steeplechase. Probably the only one out there 8 weeks pregnant.
As far as I know, yes, the only one 8 weeks pregnant.
Incredible. Love that stuff. Going in 8 weeks pregnant, 2012. 2008 competed as well. What was the difference for you just in those kind of couple of events? 4 years later, a little bit older, a little bit more mature going in.
Well, after the success I had in 2008 at the trials, finishing 6th, it left me with huge fire and burning inside, wanting to get better and perform on a higher level. And so I had huge expectations for 2012, and unfortunately 2010 and 11 I was plagued with some issues with my hamstring, so extending over barriers wasn't very fun. Felt the best I'd felt after leading into the 2012 season, and kind of wondered why I wasn't feeling so great after a while what was going on. So found out early June that I was in fact pregnant, and that day decided I'd been worked my booty off for years to get to the trials, and decided that I was going to give it a shot. Obviously at that point my goals had changed. I just wanted to run 100% the entire race no matter where I was, and I did just that, and it was a very emotional race. Got dead last by a lot, but I can definitely say that my daughter participated in the Olympic trials. So.
I was going to say, who can say that they took their daughter to the? I took her to the trials, and then I ran with her the whole time. Not many.
Not many.
Or any other one.
Yeah, no question. Hey, Joe. I was at the track today, like I said. Fortunately, this guy who's also a fan of Living the Run, been in here a few times. He didn't hang around long to embarrass us too much, but Van McCarty was out there. I mentioned your name. His eyes light up. He immediately says, this guy can run. He is fast. I've gotten to see his times. I don't know if he's run with you before, but excited to have you in this transition. Hey, man, you're moving over to the Ironman world.
That's right. Yeah, it's like you said. It's all a process. It's life and managing it.
Well, I got to think. You go from a 1,500 meter, right? You ran 1,500, you ran 5,000, you ran some cross country, etc. Man, Ironmans, you're out there forever,
all day.
Hopefully
all
not.
day.
Hopefully not.
Yeah,
well, hopefully not all day. But
yeah,
you're out there for hours.
In comparison, you're out there forever. How do you change that mentally? Is there a mental change for you? Is there a mental shift to knowing that you have to sustain for such a longer period of time versus saying, hey, I'm going hard for 25 minutes. I'm going to hurt, but it's only 25 minutes. Now I'm going 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever it ends up being. Different mental framework, yes?
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge change in mental preparation and mental, I guess, just sheer attitude. You can't have the same mindset as if you're running the 1,500 meters. Otherwise, you forget. You won't even finish. You won't even finish an Ironman if you have that mindset.
Got it. So tell me this real quick, because Van is a grinder. Van came in the last time after, what was that? That was the one up there in Napa, right? He was doing the one in Napa, and he said it was
impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive, and he was also impressive because he said it was one of the ones he hurt the most in.
Sure.
And you just have to grind, at some point. The other thing you've got going for you is you're having to learn 2 new things a little bit too, right? How to become a better cyclist, more efficient, how to become a better swimmer, become more efficient in those 2. It's not like you can just call on the running ability that you've had for a long, long time and that you've mastered pretty well. Talk about that transition as well, trying to tackle those 2 new sports.
There's definitely a learning process and a learning curve to the whole thing. Paul could attest to this. You're hurdling really, really well, but then all of a sudden your jump's off, and all of a sudden you're not vaulting the way you were 3 weeks ago, and all of a sudden one swings up and the other swings down, and all of a sudden you feel all out of whack. But in the process, you try to keep everything as level and even keel as possible, but you have to work on all the elements almost simultaneously. So that's a huge challenge in juggling the 3 aspects. Plus, they're so different. Running is the only one that's weight bearing. So it's just something as simple as that. So to learning how to push power through pedals on the bike and then learning how to get off and run, it's very challenging.
Well, I was going to say that's got to be, at least a silver lining for you. It's not like you're a swimmer getting into triathlons or a cyclist. The run being your strongest, your strongest suit essentially. It's got to be good for you knowing that when you get through the swim and you get through the bike that these guys are hurting and you're going to hurt too, but you know what? You kind of got a little secret that they don't know.
Right. It's showtime then, right? Yeah. The only problem is I'm playing catch up all day. So because I'm dead last out of the water. So that's why what makes the sport so interesting, because you can take a true swimmer and they're learning how to ride and how to run, but they're the first ones out of the water. You get a lot of attention and you see one dot in the water way out in front of everybody else. Well, I'm the last one, but I'm closing like a freight train when the others are struggling. But nobody sees it is the problem, in a way that you really move up the leaderboard, I guess, if you're looking at the GC. But it's a fight.
Hey, that's an important thing right there. What's it like coming from behind like that, picking runners off left and right? Because this is something that doesn't happen in a 1,500. It doesn't happen in a 5,000 or 10,000.
I think it still may happen a little like the 1,500. You get more, at least for me, I would get more of an adrenaline rush running somebody down than running scared or running panicked. So I think if you're going through 2 events, picking people off in the bike and then knowing you're coming to the marathon, it might be a little bit of an adrenaline boost for you when you see a guy up on the horizon and knowing you're going to get him, and it could be demeaning to that guy when he gets past, and knowing that, hey, this guy's coming, dude. I got to try to finish before he gets me.
Like, Joe Thorne's here? Oh.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Wasn't there a guy at the Ironman last year at the World Championships who said, "Hey, are you Joe?" as you came up on him?
Yep. Yeah.
And so he stuck on you, which made me angry.
It was out in the energy lab.
Yeah.
And he stuck on my shoulder, and I tried to throw in a couple little surges, and he stuck right on my shoulder. But it was great. It was entertaining.
Well, next time some guy says, "Hey, are you Joseph?" Nope. Yeah, I think he's back there.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, more from Joe Thorne and Kara June after the break. Probably the most elite fitness couple here on the Central Coast. We want to talk a little bit about time. One of the things I hear so often is that once I got married, once I had kids, I no longer had time. I know that's not an excuse for you guys. We also want to hear a little bit about how you support one another in this. Sometimes that's a difficult thing for families to figure out how to support one another as they're still competing, as they're still pushing themselves, and keep that family unit strong. So more from these guys, Kara June, Joe Thorne, back here on Living the Run. Stick with us.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Hey guys, Paul Terek from Living the Run here. As a former Olympian, there is only one place myself and fellow athletes go when it comes to chiropractic care on the Central Coast. With 4 chiropractors in the clinic, Slow Wellness Center is the largest, most comprehensive group of docs in San Luis Obispo County. I began seeing Dr. Rex Stevens back in 2005 for spinal adjustments to help maximize my performance, minimize my injury, and allow me to compete at my best. When the difference between a win and a loss can be just a fraction of an inch, perfect alignment in all joints is essential. One of the great things about the team at Slow Wellness is no matter where I had an issue, whether it was my spine, my foot, knee, wrist, or shoulder, they were always able to help. This team, made up of Dr. Rex and Molly Stevens, Dr. Sachs, and Dr. Bandolo, is sure to help you reach your health and fitness goals too. If it's chiropractic care you need, go where I go, Slow Wellness Center. Check them out at slowwellness.com or call 543-8688.
Folks, When it comes to the health of my teeth, I will not compromise, and neither should you. It's time you go where my wife and I go. Go see Dr. Ryan Ross. I get it. Not everyone loves a dentist, and heck, even a few of you out there are scared to death of these offices. Bad past experiences? Well, you ever had a bad haircut? How about a bad meal somewhere? You didn't stop getting your haircut, and you certainly didn't stop eating, so stop ignoring your teeth. Dr. Ross's gentle approach, calming demeanor, and office full of upbeat staff puts your dental fears to rest. Conveniently located in a great little house on Marsh Street downtown, Dr. Ross's office exudes the highest level of professionalism, mixed with an atmosphere much like your own home. Look, nobody's in a rush here. It's not a get 'em in, get 'em out atmosphere. Every time I'm in Dr. Ross's office, it's like I'm the only guy that matters. No distractions, just full focus on my oral health. If you're interested in the highest quality in dental care and want to walk out of the office every time with a smile, call Dr. Ryan Ross today, 541-5800.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
You want to get fit? And I mean really fit? Fit for fun? Fit for looking good? Fit for life? It can happen for you at Athlon Fitness and Performance in San Luis Obispo. Athlon has a 4-week fitness fast start designed to get anyone back on track and moving like a champion quickly and effectively. For a limited time, you can start Athlon's 4-week fitness fast start for only $197. That's 4 weeks of personal training, nutritional guidance, movement rehabilitation, motivation, fun, and encouragement, all for just $197. Take your body and your athleticism to a new level. Go to athlonslo.com. That's ATHLONSLO.com to learn more about the 4-week fitness fast start. It'll be the best decision you'll ever make.
We're back with Living the Run.
Good stuff as always in the break. Talking parenting. God, we'd have to have a 24-hour show, Paul Terek, to be able to talk how to get our kids to sleep. I'm
just trying to pick their brains. They got a 7-month-old girl. I got one on the way. And I'm like, wait a second. So with these girls, Joe, how do you respond to these girl things?
Fortunately, she's only 7 months. We're not really there yet.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
I'll be calling you ahead of time. Like, 2 years from now, like, so when she says she's not upset with me, she is upset with me.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, it's ESPN Radio, 1280 The Ticket. You're listening to Living the Run. We talk health and fitness every Wednesday night from 6 to 7, generally followed by the CJ Silas Show. But I think this is the first time, Paul, in over a year, CJ on vacation. In Mexico, Owen, Maine. Guys from fansmanship.com are going to be on this show. They're taking over CJ Silas Show, and I tell you, stick with these guys from 7 to 8. Just talking to them briefly. Funny guys. They got a great website. You're going to want to hear them, so stick with these guys. And if you're just tuning in now to us for the first time, check us out on facebook.com/livingtherun or go to livingtherun.com. We put the podcasts up every week. Good stuff. In studio now, if you're just getting with us again, Joe Thorne, Cara June, elite athlete couple here, transitioning to the next stage of life, 7-month-old at home, trying to figure out how to sleep, how to balance. Let's just go right at it. Time is the big issue for everybody. Everybody talks about they don't have enough time to work out. They don't have enough time to prep meals. They don't have time, la-da-da-da-da. You guys are making the time. How do you do it?
It's just that, because time is one of those things that people say they don't have, but really everybody has the same amount of time. It's what you do with it. It's how you manage it. So you have to value what's obviously important to you, and then you make that a priority. But then you also have to flex because Kara's training as well. So we have to give and take and support each other.
Yeah, right now it sounds to me like you're pushing more, Joe, towards some of the competitive stuff. You're trying to get yourself established a little bit more in the Ironman world. You're starting to get that under your belt, starting to compete at a higher level. Kara kind of kicking back just a little, staying super fit, nursing, being a mom. How does that go when Kara decides, hey, it's time for me to step it up and take on her next elite competition as well?
That's when I'll have to flex there and watch McKenna while Kara goes to work.
Yeah, you guys being at a pretty high level, I know that's one of the stressors for so many couples is that they feel like they can't work out together because one maybe seems more fit than the other, one's faster, one likes to do longer, somebody else likes to do shorter. You guys sounded like, though, you get out there and you hit some lunchtime runs together, you do some stuff together. How is it training together?
I love running with Joe. It's a lot of fun. He obviously slows down a bit for me, so I run with him on his easy days. Yesterday, like I said, we ran at Cal Poly and did a fartlek out there, and so he took off, and then I would kind of keep going the faster pace until I caught back up to him, and it's a lot of fun. So I'd say at least once a week we run together. And there are a few times that we push McKenna together too and switch off every 10 minutes. I do want to say that I have a lot of family around the area and they help out a lot too. So sometimes I'll run McKenna over to my sister's house and leave her there if I'm doing a workout, or we'll push our babies together. She has a 2-month-old, so it's just a lot of fun, and we do rely on each other a lot. But there are some family members who help as well.
Now, Kara, have you, now that he's kind of testing the waters first, do you see any potential that you may get involved in these triathlons as well?
No. I love watching Joe out there. I have no desire, and I still don't know why. Still don't know why he wants to be out there for that long. Obviously, he doesn't want to be out there for that long, but, still, he trained so much, hours and hours. 5-hour rides sometimes, and 6K swims. I'm sure that's probably not even your longest, and the running. But this year he has focused more on the half Ironman distance, so that has definitely cut back on a lot, which has been great for the new family. But still, it's a lot of time and effort and patience, and then working more than 40 hours a week as well, especially on Joe's part. So, yeah.
And that lactic acid you mentioned earlier, yeah. That's working for the half. That's that you hit that often.
Hey, so I'm not buying this, Kara. He sits here and says, I'm coming in towards the end on the swim. I know he doesn't think he's a good swimmer. I know that he's working hard at getting better. Same thing on the bike. Reality is this guy's nowhere near the back on the swim, is it?
No, he's definitely, if you compare times with the last couple years, he's improved an insane amount. He's got a fantastic coach, Derek Williams, and they've been working really well together, mostly via email and conversations every now and then. But he is improving a lot. He is at Sinsheimer every day, 4 days a week at lunch, maybe once on the weekend too, and he's working his behind off. And on the bike as well. So his swim has improved a ton.
But when you're so bad, it's easier to get faster. Well, yeah, so when you're that bad, it's easier to get quick, and you improve dramatically.
Well, it's outside the box, but I'd be more than happy to try to find you a set of swim trunks. We can sew on some pieces of steak, then you can head out to the ocean wearing them. I bet you're swimming. I bet you would swim. We just drop you about mile or two outside the rock. Back to shore you come with a T-bone trailing behind you. I guarantee a faster time.
Paul,
we can try that method.
That sounds interesting training method.
Yeah, you keep talking like this. There's no way these guys ever come back in the studio with
smarter. You guys want to work smarter. You need to work harder.
It's that easy, right?
Yeah. Actually, interesting topic. You're seeing this a lot. I know that there's a guy, Ben Greenfield, has some pretty big podcasts online. He's an Ironman guy as well. Talks a lot about what Paul just said, working smarter, not necessarily harder, and it's more not necessarily longer. A lot of things out there in the Ironman world now, people putting in a little bit more intense training, shorter sessions, rather than those long pound the pavement, got to get the miles in on the bike, etc. What are you adopting? What are you finding is working best for you as you transition over to this Ironman world?
It's definitely a mix of both. Obviously you gotta be smart and attack things in a certain methodical way, but with that you've got to work hard. But just going super easy and going for 10 hours a day, that makes no sense, right?
No sense at all.
Right. So you definitely have to adapt.
What's next on your radar?
I'm going to go to Las Vegas in 3 weeks. 3 weeks to the Ironman World Championships for the half, the 70.3.
70.3.
Yeah.
Is it out of the realm of possibility that you'd get into Olympic distance triathlons?
No. I've done a few, but it's really just for working on certain elements and just fast race.
But I think once your swimming and cycling improves, do you think that's because like that's some place where your running background would would really shine?
Definitely. But I would want to take the speed if I develop on that short end and take it and cross it over onto the full Ironman. Because if you can take that speed and carry it over, say 4K in the water and the ocean, and then 112 miles on the bike, you're going to do really, really well.
Hey, last thing before we let you go, talk about what you learned and what you have learned as an elite athlete, how that has transferred over to helping you as a parent in these first 7 months.
Patience. You learn patience, and you learn to work off of less sleep, and just learn to rely on people who, like Joe. I don't want to say he's like a coach, but you have a coach when you're training, and you have someone you can lean on and complain to and talk to about, break it down basically. And that's what Joe and I do every day on the way home from work. We talk about work, and that way when we get home, we're not, still talking about work, and we can spend time with McKenna. And so it's just learning to be patient and to rely on each other.
That one question could be an entire 24-hour show. It's so loaded, right? Like the psychological aspects of that are so vast.
Give us one thing, Joe. Come on.
It makes you more understanding.
Yeah.
Like Kara said, you're definitely more patient, but you're understanding. You learn how to give and take and how to be flexible.
Good stuff. I love it, Paul. These guys are elite.
I'm still wondering about the patience thing because I am still, you know what I mean? I'm definitely more patient than I was, but I struggle with that.
Hey, thanks so much, guys, for coming in. We're going to follow you, Joe, at least for this next little bit. We'll follow you too, Kara, as I know you'll get back into something, but listeners love it. They love to have somebody to follow. And I tell you, I've been to the last 2 Kona Ironmans, and the most fun thing out there is to watch the run and to watch good runners start picking people off. It's absolutely exhilarating. There's a turnaround there in Kona where they got to kind of head back up a hill, and there is some neat stuff going on there, and it is fun to watch. Kind of gives you goosebumps as you're sitting over there. So, guys, thanks so much for coming in. Thanks for sharing, and appreciate you guys on Living the Run. As always, our guests on Living the Run get a sponsored gift certificate from Jaffa Cafe.
Sweet.
Our
Awesome.
favorite Greek food here on the Central Coast. Adnan and the boys over there will take care of you. So, gift card for you guys. Thanks so much for coming in, as always.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Good stuff. More from Paul Terek, Olympian Paul Terek, here on Living the Run. We'll close with tips and takeaways and more. Stick with us.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Hey guys, Paul Terek from Living the Run here. As a former Olympian, there is only one place myself and fellow athletes go when it comes to chiropractic care on the Central Coast. With 4 chiropractors in the clinic, Slow Wellness Center is the largest, most comprehensive group of docs in San Luis Obispo County. I began seeing Dr. Rex Stevens back in 2005 for spinal adjustments to help maximize my performance, minimize my injury, and allow me to compete at my best. When the difference between a win and a loss can be just a fraction of an inch, perfect alignment in all joints is essential. One of the great things about the team at Slow Wellness is no matter where I had an issue, whether it was my spine, my foot, knee, wrist, or shoulder, they were always able to help. This team, made up of Dr. Rex and Molly Stevens, Dr. Sachs, and Dr. Bandolo, is sure to help you reach your health and fitness goals too. If it's chiropractic care you need, go where I go, Slow Wellness Center. Check them out at slowwellness.com or call 543-8688.
Folks, when it comes to the health of my teeth, I will not compromise, and neither should you. It's time you go where my wife and I go see Dr. Ryan Ross. I get it. Not everyone loves a dentist, and heck, even a few of you out there are scared to death of these offices. Bad past experiences? Well, you ever had a bad haircut? How about a bad meal somewhere? You didn't stop getting your haircut, and you certainly didn't stop eating, so stop ignoring your teeth. Dr. Ross's gentle approach, calming demeanor, and office full of upbeat staff put your dental fears to rest. Conveniently located in a great little house on Marsh Street downtown, Dr. Ross's office exudes the highest level of professionalism, mixed with an atmosphere much like your own home. Look, nobody's in a rush here. It's not a get them in, get them out atmosphere. Every time I'm in Dr. Ross's office, it's like I'm the only guy that matters. No distractions, just full focus on my oral health. If you're interested in the highest quality in dental care and want to walk out of the office every time with a smile, call Dr. Ryan Ross today, 541-5800.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
You want to get fit? And I mean really fit? Fit for fun? Fit for looking good? Fit for life? It can happen for you at Athlon Fitness and Performance in San Luis Obispo. Athlon has a 4-week fitness fast start designed to get anyone back on track and moving like a champion quickly and effectively. For a limited time, you can start Athlon's 4-week fitness fast start for only $197. That's 4 weeks of personal training, nutritional guidance, movement rehabilitation, motivation, fun, and encouragement, all for just $197. Take your body and your athleticism to a new level. Go to athlonslo.com. That's ATHLONSLO.com to learn more about the 4-week fitness fast start. It'll be the best decision you'll ever make.
Oh, let's check it out, Paul Terek. What's going on here?
The giddy up there.
No Max Woodcock, and things can get a little awry here. I think we just lost a little time. Thanks to Alex for getting us in. Don't forget to listen to the Slow Late Show tonight, 10 o'clock. Alex and Bobby. I tell you, no Max Woodcock. If we didn't have Alex Klepper, we wouldn't be on the air right now.
Anybody can do it straight up, but when there's those little speed bumps, we tend to struggle a little bit.
Hey, let's see if we can hit it real quick. We talked about earlier, we were talking about getting back to school, a little anxiety with it. One of the things that the parents have anxiety with is what to pack their kids for lunch. How do you sustain them for the day and keep their energy? Just a couple minutes here. We're always going Virginia Marum of Vert Foods, vertfoods.com. You got a couple of things for us. Sorry about that dead air there.
No worries.
Hey, it is what it is. You've been with us on other things before, so it's not the first time. Hey, tell us a
little
bit real
my
quickly.
My kids actually made your food for you, which is my number one tip for parents. I know it sounds crazy to some parents, but especially if a third grader and a kindergartner going into kindergarten, and they both made you that lunch today. So get them in the kitchen and let them have some control and some ownership of their food, and you'll see them really enjoy showing off their lunches and making shapes out of sprouted grain toast and making stackables. So the other point that I have for parents is look at the 2 most popular lunch items right now. It's Subway sandwiches and those Lunchables. I don't understand Lunchables. They're very toxic and bad for kids, and I've never understood that it's a difficult thing to stack stuff. So let your kids cut some cheese into shapes, cut some toast, cut some salami, cut some vegetables, and let them do their own stacking to really keep it basic and kind of just do whole food alternatives from what's popular out there. So on there, too, you'll see there's lots of good fruit choices and vegetable choices. We got some purple cauliflower, which, again, it's just fun. Purple cauliflower is actually very healthy, and it's just fun for the kids to show it off at school, that they literally have purple vegetables in their lunchbox.
I love that. That was my favorite thing when I looked in. We got to say thanks to Calla, thanks to Weston Marum. Great kids. I got to say, if Paul Terek's son was packing this lunch at this age, none of these foods would have gotten in that glass Tupperware.
Not if he was going for the stuff in our fridge.
Well, that's my very last point when parents say, but the packaging is what gets my kids. The kids love to rip it open, so make each little thing a present. We didn't do it this time, but go buy some dollar store stickers, wrap it up in parchment paper, and let them decorate the outside of their homemade wrappers with stickers. It'll excite them to rip it open, to show it off at school. If that's really what sells the food, to get your kids to sell it, or to eat it, gets them to sell it, your kids to eat it, then make your own wrapping. It's a very simple way to get them back to eating whole food.
Good advice, Virginia, as always. Thanks for being flexible. Love this stuff, and thanks for helping out parents here today as well as the kids. Hey, and actually, you're helping out the teachers.
Yes,
They're not having to deal with kids bouncing off the walls.
Exactly. Get good breakfast in the morning.
Good stuff. Talk to you next week.
Okay.
As always, good stuff from Virginia Marum. Great show tonight, Paul. We got a couple real good ones coming up. Rob Wolf, author of The Paleo Solution. This book sold a couple million copies, I believe. This guy is really the top expert on the paleo diet. He wrote just an awesome, awesome book if you haven't read it. We're going to have him on the show. We got Dave Van Maurik. Remember Dave? That long swim, endurance swimming? He's done one now out in Sweden, in a lake in Sweden. Dave Van Maurik's going to be on the show here pretty soon as well. A big list, a big lineup coming into September. Excited about where Living the Run is going on a weekly basis here. Wednesday nights, 6 to 7 on ESPN 1280 The Ticket.
Yeah, you managed to find the people locally that you see all the time that you never really know. You know, you see people and you go, I wonder what that guy does. You find out these stories and you find some of the most interesting people, Rex.
It's good stuff. Tips and takeaways, Paul Terek, from tonight's show. Good stuff.
The biggest tip I got is being flexible. You know, you make time for what's important, but you also have to be flexible.
Yeah, I think so. And, they talked about patience, and that's one of the hard things for people when they're trying to make health changes is be patient. Whether they're changing their diet, whether they're exercising, looking to gain some strength, reducing their times in a race. Tough to be patient.
It may have taken somebody 10 years to get out of shape. You're not going to get back in shape in 10 days.
No question. Guys, hang on for the CJ Silas show next at 7 o'clock. These guys, I'm telling you, the guys taking over. You got to hang in for this show because you just look at these guys and all you think, I mean, it's hilarity. It's absolute hilarity. I can't wait to see what they got. Fansmanship.com. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a good show. And then, of course, the Slow Late Show coming on tonight, 10 o'clock, Alex and Bobby. I think they've kicked everybody else off. And, they're not inviting me onto that show, Paul. And I think
it's indicative, I think.
Yeah,
indicative of past performance.
They just don't want to hear about labyrinthitis and some of this other stuff going on. So
I don't think it's necessarily them that don't want to hear. It might just be everyone else.
Oh, it might be. Is this thing going to count down? I mean, is it going to work? Are we just going to keep talking? We got the frozen air. There it is. There's the music for Olympian Paul
Terek. A sigh
Terek.
of relief from every listener.
I'm Rex Stevens. Thanks to our guests, Adam Melhuse, recovering from surgery, Virginia Marum of Vert Foods, find her out at vertfoods.com, and to Joe Thorne and Kara June, thanks for sharing here in studio about life after elite athleticism. Folks, live healthy, live bold, come, live the run.